Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the JR Wisdom channel. I want to thank all you guys for tuning back in. I know it's been a while. Haven't been on here in quite a few days, actually. So I hope many of you guys have missed me and things of that nature. So, happy Cinco de Mayo and all that good stuff for those of you who haven't made it out or made it out to all the festivities and the partying and all that good stuff here. I'm trying something a little different today. For those of you who are used to my other videos, I'm doing this here. So pardon me while I load up. I'm trying to pull the chat up here. So, but while that's getting on here, just wanted to touch on the topic that I'm going to be speaking on, which is why men cheat but they never leave their wives. I know I talked about this previously. Let me go ahead and pull this up here so I can see what you guys are talking about because my chat here doesn't want to work. Two Trill, what's happening? So you thought I left and went Patreon like the others? Nah. So basically, I wanted to discuss this because, like I said, I talked about this on another topic that was almost similar to this, and many women tend to know why men cheat on them, but a lot of women may want to know, well, if he's cheating on me, then at the end of the day, why does he? If he wants another woman, why is he staying? Why is he sticking around? Which can be confusing for some people, for some women, is why is this guy actually sticking around with me? Why is he not leaving? But many of them do know, you know, and most of the women that I've spoken with that have come, to terms with the fact it may be obviously um it all obviously boils down to sex, and maybe the man isn't getting exactly what he wants, and or on the frequency that he feels. He may have discussed this with his woman, he may not have discussed this to his woman. So that's the issue that needs to be looked at in the first place, is why do men cheat? And the biggest thing, and I think we all recognize this and we all realize this, is that it's not that men cheat because they don't love their wives. And I think women know that also. Women know that the men are in love with them and men want to be with them. And it's not like oh, I'm in love with this woman, or all of a sudden, or something like on Harlem Nights, where he just calls his wife up and says, put your mom on the phone. I'm not coming home anymore. Da, da, da. Men cheat because they feel something desirable, either not feel something desirable, but they desire something on the outside. They can't get that, or they want that, or something is appealing to them on the outside, or maybe their wife at the time is, they can't find a certain peace with that as they could find out with their side woman, or a woman on the side, or something out there in the streets, which is one thing. If they can't find that peace, that's normally what leads up to it. Or if their wife is no longer meeting their sexual desires, and some men may not even discuss that or breach that topic with their wives, of how often they would they want sex, or they would like to have sex with their wives, or they're trying to have sex with their wives. So they just go ahead and do it anyway. And then they come back home, which none of this is right at the end of the day. It could be, he could be hearing a whole lot of yelling, which is disturbing the peace to him. His wife could be, but at the end of the day, this woman is dependable. He's been with this woman for a long time. This woman takes care of household duties. She's a all around good woman, but that portion of it is that she's not fulfilling him sexually. That's why he's taking himself outside the marriage by stepping out and doing these things, or seeking someone who is going to fulfill, or he feels that is going to fulfill that part of the marriage, even though he may not have discussed it with it, which is another big thing as far as the communication. So he understands that this is a good woman at the end of the day, but when it comes to a good woman and then a smart woman, those are they could be the same, but it could be two different things. If a woman is just feels that once she's married, she doesn't have to uh, be sexual with her husband as much, or maybe have sex with her husband every now and then, or just on certain holidays, then there's going to be a problem. Most smart women understand that men are the desire, or the sexual desire of most men is strong. It's very strong. So men constantly are sexual beings that constantly want to have sex. That's just, unless he's just reached that point where he's impotent in that area, or he's no longer able to become sexually aroused. That's a different story. But if he's seeking sex outside, and that could be another thing also. He might not be sexually aroused because he's not no longer sexually turned on by his wife, so therefore he goes outside of the marriage in that aspect. He seeks others outside of the marriage to fulfill this, because issue where he believes he's impotent, but he's no longer able to become sexually aroused by the woman he's with, and he may seek some woman outside of become sexually aroused, and come to find out he's not. It's not the fact that he it's not that he is impotent, it's just that he's no longer able to be with his wife, even though he's in love with this woman and knows that she's a good woman. She holds down the household, she holds down the family, the kids. He's been with her so long, and he's not trying to step outside. And a smart man, at the end of the day, knows a good woman is hard to come by. So he understands that this wife is a good woman. They have a history, all of these things, and he may be using, the side hoe, as a lot of y'all like to call it, just to fulfill his sexual needs, throw a couple dollars, you know, pay a light bill or something like that, just to fulfill his needs sexually. But he still has this history and this connection with his wife, but he'll never leave the wife, because a number of things, divorce being an issue, knowing a good woman is hard to come by, even though he may be jeopardizing it by dealing with the woman on the outside, which is a whole nother issue of jeopardizing the actual marriage. But a good woman, and everyone knows it's just like a woman will say the same thing. A good man is hard to come by. Just having a good spouse all around is hard to come by. So this man is, even though he's jeopardizing it by stepping out on his wife, he's never going to leave her. A man who's in love with a woman and knows he has a good woman, he's not going to leave her. If he knows if his woman isn't about shit, he's going to go ahead and be out anyway. He doesn't really care. He'll be on the next thing smoking, or moving in with the next woman. But if he knows he has a good woman, he's not going to leave her. So despite he's in love with her, despite all the issues, all the nagging, all the yelling, she's dependable. Um, but he knows where, a lot of women will say this, he knows where she has his heart. He knows where his heart is at. He's always gonna come back. And this dates back to maybe your grandparents. They stuck together despite all this, and the grandparents may have known what was going on. I mean, the grandmother knows all along that the grandfather is messing around on her, but she knows that he's coming back. Even though he steps out to the juke joint, whatever you call it back then, or he steps down the road to, this woman's house, she knows that he's coming back, that he's not going anywhere, despite all the gossip that goes on in her ear. She's not really going to entertain it, because she's holding down the house, and he has to deal with a whole nother set of problems if he steps out and he tries to rebuild with this woman. And that's another thing. Men really don't want to constantly, just like women, men really don't want to constantly deal with building all over with another woman. You know what I mean? What happens when the woman falls in love with the mistress? That's what Crystal Jackson says. With the mistress, and he realizes that she's a good woman, and she's if she's better than his wife, then he's gonna leave with the mistress. But that's I don't know how much of this video you caught, Crystal, but that's what I was saying. That a man will not leave a good woman. Period. He will not leave a good woman. You know, he's going to keep his wife, like Vendela was saying. So grandmothers and women back in the day did not work or have their own money. They couldn't leave. I mean, you got a point there, but I mean, you got some women that don't work now either. At the end of the day, the government has become the husband to a lot of women. So you taken care of, with things like that. But when a woman steps out, a man can't deal. Remind me to come back to that, AFAB. I'm gonna touch on that. Why a man can't deal. I talk a lot about that on my videos. He's getting something from the mistress that is different from the wife. He's getting that peace, as I said before, and he may be getting that a certain type of sex, but he's not gonna leave his wife for that woman. So I think I already answered that about the whole mistress thing. So couples stayed together back then, but this was something that was understood a lot of times. The grandmother, your grandmother, whoever, these women of the older generation knew that he wasn't leaving. She knew that these things happen, you know, but they stayed together. So I always say, um, even with certain things, if don't get married unless and this is for men and women, don't get married unless you're ready to accept infidelity, because that's just part of some marriages. It's bound to happen with many of them. You see how the way things are going now. So if that's not something you can tolerate, don't get married, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'm just old and I've never seen a man leave his wife unless it was for a white woman. I forgot about that. Goodness. So Vanilla agrees with what I'm saying. You know, it's very rare. You would have to come to a point where this woman is outdoing your wife in every single way. That's why sex, a lot of times when people look at it, and I say this a lot in my videos, sex, sex is important to men, but it's not as he would up and leaving for the mistress. And a lot of these side hoes be wondering why he never leaves. So here you go. If you one of them side pieces out there watching this, that's the reason why. It's not in a woman. It's more natural for a man, not a woman. A man's ego would never stand for staying with the cheating wife. You'd be surprised, Crystal Jackson. There's a lot of simps out here that I personally know who will stand for their wife cheating on them. You know. So additionally, as women age and go through menopause, the woman's sex drive oftentimes decreases. You are correct with that. Women's sex drive does decrease as they get older. But a man is you know, obviously they say that a man's prime is in his 30s, but men go on producing kids well into their 70s, even in their 80s, 90s, and they have a sex, as long as they can still get it up, they're still going to seek sex or seek out sex. And that's the nature of it. But men seem to cheat for sexual needs, women needs. Yeah, that's a common thing, the sexual and emotional needs. Crystal just said, men who stay with their cheating wives. Wow, I'm surprised. I know men who stay with their cheating wives. I've come across several guys. If you read my book, and I hate to plug it again, it's a prime, not me, but it's a prime example of someone, like one of the characters in the book, who stayed with his wife knowing that she was cheating. You know, I'm not gonna say your name. I just called your name. But I'm reading your comment, and yeah, I wonder sometimes like how older people, especially men who's are no longer have a libido or sexual drive or any of that. How obviously it's love that keeps you together, which love is more when you get to that age and a man is still has sexual desire. What is it? You know, and when you because it would almost be I guess uncomfortable or just or I don't know. That's something I don't even want to talk about that. That's not for me, but I'm just thinking if I live to be that age, you know, or if I'm even married at that age, just to think like I don't even want to think about it. Being in my six and my wife or my significant others in their 60s, and we're no longer sexually active, but I still have the desire sexually for you know I can't. I don't know. That's crazy. There's some males that are simps that will put up with wife cheating. Yeah, I know it. It's real talk. I know these guys. I know these guys. Not no, we're not cool, but I know of these guys who know their wives are cheating on them. But they're so in love, they're willing to overlook that same thing. AFAB, I'm gonna go back to what she said. A man can't take. It's cool for a man to cheat, but it's not cool for a woman to cheat. And that's because it's a destroyer. It destroys a man's ego all around, knowing that his wife uh, was sexually involved with another man. Another man was, you know, basically doing your wife dirty in the worst in the worst way. These thoughts are replaying in your head. Someone being sexual with your wife is enough to drive a man, you know, mad. He doesn't care about the love aspect of it. It's just the fact that someone was digging your wife out. Someone was basically, as far as even planting his seed in this woman, you know, and doing her however way, and this replays in a man's mind. He can't take it. I think, like I said, the prophet even said that knowing that another man is sleeping with your wife or having sex with your wife and I've said this on other videos, it's the closest thing to hellfire or being in hell as far as a man, knowing that that is what is taking place. So my sex is gone and my husband is dead. So I just get into God more. I had a strong ass sex drive when I was young. It is gone now, and I'm happy serving others in the Lord. I feel you. As long as you found peace, that's what it's all about. As long as you find peace, you know. Same thing with that's what some men are searching for. Sorry to say, when they do step out, if it's not sex, that's what they're searching for, their peace. I watched Maury, and this dude wife cheated on him with multiple dudes, and he's right there standing by her side. Yeah. Shout out, hey Crystal Jackson, you showing too much support. I appreciate it. My goodness. I know I've been going a while. It's not that many people in the chat, and I know it's Cinco de Mayo. Speaking of that, it's I don't I'm trying not to stay on here too long because I'm trying to go out and enjoy the festivities as well. You know, but peace be upon those individuals. Click back on my camera because I had the camera off. I'm trying Google Hangouts here soon. I mean, right now. So I'm gonna be doing a few things. I'm gonna be stepping in. I have I'm gonna be doing a hangout with this young lady about this similar a topic similar to this about uh, men desiring femininity from a woman, but in her perspective, she provided that to a man or men, and men take it for granted of being feminine, doing these things that men ask, or these things that men want as far as women being feminine. Appreciate good talk with her. And when we do this chat, I think it's gonna be a really good hangout that we do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting back on it. I know I don't have it's not too many people on here, but I think it's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna try to shoot for Sunday to do it, but I wanted to attack this topic and go into a few details. I guess I learned a lot of stuff on here. An ex of mine said, if I hold around, I will still be pursued and respected by women. But if you do it, you will be looked as a hoe. Nobody wants a hoe. Uh, you said an ex of mine said, I will still be pursued and respected by women. But if you do it, you'll be looked at as a hoe. Nobody wants a hoe. Hmm. I wouldn't say all that because some dudes do want hoes. And some women are, sometimes aren't attracted as he is dealing with a woman or two. She'll overlook him until that point where she sees that other women want this guy, or this guy is dealing with other women, and that's when she may become attracted to him. And it's funny how it's like that, you know. Edward Montero, what's happening? Crystal said, I'm Mexican. I'm with you, but I get something to eat. Let's just leave it at that. I digress. I'm not Mexican either, but I'm just gonna get some good food. What man in his right mind would want a hoe? Why do they go to strip clubs, Crystal? You said what man in his right mind would want a hoe? All these dudes paying for porn stars, all these dudes going to strip clubs, paying for women, paying to have sex with these women in strip clubs, you know, and some of them actually trying to wife them, you know. He said hoes are easy to fuck. Sure of it, but that's also the nature of this world, because just like a hoe, those who indulge in all these vices and the things of this world, definitely for what's her name? The church. A hoe will go with you, but she won't remember you. That's the nature of a hoe, just like the nature of this world. It'll remember you. It's dudes who wife strippers. You said there's one thing to be titillated by a strip club atmosphere versus wifing someone up. There's dudes who take these women on dates, try to go above and beyond. There's dudes who know women mess with other women. I mean, women mess with other guys, but they try to be that one to lock her down as if it's a prize, and that's just the way it is. And a lot of these dudes marry these women thinking that they will change. Not saying that they won't, but this is the nature of it, and these things do happen. So, you know, he's saying get the likes up. Shout out Edwin Montero, man. Good looking out. You know what I'm saying? But it is a thing that these guys try because it's an accomplishment. Why do you think all these dudes a lot of times mess with the same women in some towns? Women, different guys, and a lot of their buddies, but they want to be the one to claim her or say that they got her. So I don't get it either. Same thing with these celebrities. Why they all deal with the same woman is beyond me. There's so many beautiful women out here, but they want to have the woman who's been with everyone else. I don't understand that. I don't know how the quality's looking on this thing because I'm on this hangout instead of I usually do the live on my phone. So I hope it's coming in a lot better. But Yeah, that's the nature. Men cheat, leave, won't leave their wives. They're looking for that peace, especially if the woman, if they're being, if she's being annoying or he's constantly being uh, yelled at, antagonized, if she's being condescending to him, or he may be even in a position where she's the breadwinner and she's providing, so he has to sit back and take it. It's either he cheats or he's going to put hands on her in situations like this. So that's another thing to add to that whole. It's weird, but I just say, and I always say that infidelity now, and it always has been, is a part of marriage. And if you can't accept it, man or woman, don't get married unless if you can't accept something like that, because it's bound to happen a lot of times unless you just have something that special, amongst each other. And different people call infidelity, could, for some people it's not, it probably won't even be sexual, so am I condoning? By all means, no. Crystal, you asking me, am I condoning men having relationships outside of marriage? No way. No way. I don't believe that anyone should be cheated on. I believe if you get married, you should be with that person only. And if you can't do that, that's what I'm saying, don't get married. If you can't deal with that, whether man, that's why I said man or woman, if you can't deal with that, do not get married. If you feel like yourself, and I did a video on this also, if you feel like yourself, and I know people like this, they get married even though they know they're still going to cheat ahead of time. Why even get married if you know you're going to do it? So that means if you feel like you're going to do it, and on the flip side, if you can't accept it, do not get married. That's just my thoughts. That's just my thoughts on it. Fidelity is an unnatural social construct. I tell you this before, I swear you're a dude. You know, I swear you're a dude. Because you manosphere from a manospherian perspective. So what should a man from cheating? Very good question, Sherelle. Um, I say in the same thing. Um, if you're always, and this isn't 100% true, but if you're that man's piece, a wife, whatever, should be that man's piece. If you're and not saying that you're a piece of meat at the end of the day, but if you're fulfilling your man sexually, always go back to the keep his nuts empty and his stomach full, that whole thing. But if you're fulfilling your man sexually, and this is where communication comes in, you know, and you're his piece at the end of the day, and he basically looks forward, and that's the only way to know that is by communicating. If he looks forward to coming home or being with you or being around you, and you just being his piece at the end of the day, that's the way that I would see. Even though shit does happen, which doesn't make sense, but why if a woman's fulfilling you sexually, you know, removing your stress, being your peace at the end of the day, what reason is there for you to be cheating? That in my estimation, I think if a woman is doing all that, fulfilling you sexually, what is the reason to be cheating on her? You know, nothing she can do. Men cheat for different reasons. That is true, but I'm just saying that if a woman unless he's just has an ego thing beyond sexual, all I'm saying is the basics of cheating to me is if this woman brings you peace, if you can depend on this woman for peace, if she fulfills you sexually, what is your purpose for cheating? What are you looking for? Ask a man. You know what I'm saying? That's the question that I would like to know, or you would ask your, you know, ask your significant other, what is it? What is the problem? If I'm fulfilling, am I not fulfilling you sexually? What's the problem? So that's what I would ask. You know, I am a woman. Why is this so difficult for you to understand? Yes, I am the elusive female unicorn. I feminine submissive woman who thinks logically, and I relax. And you know, I've already told you this. I think a few times already. You know, it, it's I guess it's rare to come across women who speak the way you do. So that's it. Take it as a compliment. You know, butterscotch chick. Some men and women just have a polygamous nature. Right. They do. Too true. You said the most basic reason men cheat is a different attitude. I don't know what you mean. Expound on that. That's perspective. If a woman brings me peace, if I love being with this woman fulfills me sexually. Why am I cheating on her? Maybe I'm just a old fart, like I said. I'm an old head. But if a woman is fulfilling me sexually, and I look forward to coming home and seeing her, and I find peace in this woman and all of these things, then what reason would I have to be cheating on her? Own ego to say that I slept with another woman for to achieve something that only lasts 5 to 10 seconds. And this is not me simping. This is just me, my thoughts personally. You know what I mean? A different attitude from a different woman. I got what you're saying, but I mean, at the end of the day, go ahead and leave. I happen, okay, I would take it as a compliment. I happen to study men, love men, respect men, admire men, and I love logical thinking. If only all women had logical thinking, Crystal. You know, as I've gotten older, I'm starting to realize that too. Yeah. Um, but what brings you peace? As I made a video about that also. Does sleeping with different people, a bunch of different people, does that bring you peace? Not saying that it doesn't, but is that something? Because evidently, if you have to keep going through different people, is it? I'm all about peace, something that brings you peace at the end of the day. For me, running through a bunch of different people does not bring me peace. You know, especially for something that only lasts 5 to 10 seconds. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. Yeah, it's not my person. I'm just saying I'm just saying based off my thing. But I know based off men, what men are looking for on my discussions is they're looking for in a woman, they're looking for peace and they're looking for sexual fulfillment. You know, so anything outside of that, it's got to be ego, in my opinion. You know, anything outside of you being sexually fulfilled by a woman and you having peace in a woman, it's got to be your ego. You know, so I don't know, man. Give me a nice, beautiful woman who I can find peace in, who takes care of me also, and I'm sexually fulfilled. I don't have, and I don't, I'm not gonna sit up here and fantasize about going out and getting another woman. So that's just me, you know. Because most men, after you're sexually fulfilled, who, unless you're a nymphomaniac, who's actually gonna sit back and be, oh well, I gotta get, you know, this was the most incredible, this was the greatest sex ever. Oh man, I gotta go get this other woman right now. You know, I don't know, man. Just enjoy your relationship and deal with that if it comes. Don't go into a relationship thinking that you keep your man from cheating. That's true. That's true. But I mean, it's always good to have communication. I feel sorry for men having to deal with the manipulative and irrational nature of the average woman. The passive aggressive nature of the insatiable vanity of the feminine is exhausting. Me and Marie, me and you, I already told him about you. Me and you gonna be doing this live chat. We're gonna be doing this hangout. And I'm gonna let you talk to the people about this good info you got, because I know we touched on a lot of good stuff that I think the people need to hear, as I said to you before. So I'm saying that what your wife ain't doing, another woman would type attitude. What would that be that your wife isn't doing? If based off what I'm saying, if you find peace in a woman, and emotionally rational people, that's the antithesis of peace. Yeah, but I'm just saying, if you do happen to be this lucky man, this is to Two Trill and Crystal. If you do happen to find this woman who fulfills you sexually, and you find peace in, what kind of attitude would you be looking into another woman? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so it's ego. If it's a fetish, it's ego also. If he's like, there are some men who like to keep other women because it is a fetish and that they can afford it. I'm just saying. Just tell me when. Yeah. But if it's a fetish, then it's an ego thing. If they will want to keep other women, because they can afford it. I mean, if you got fetish, communicate your fetish with your old lady. Maybe she might be able to take care of that. So, or maybe she may be cool with you doing that. Just food for thought. So, but yeah, we're looking at doing that hangout on Sunday. If y'all want to tune in, I think that's going to be a really good hangout. Like I said before, um, about the of femininity, and when men do have a woman who is feminine, they don't appreciate it. You know, they don't appreciate what they have and what a woman is, doing for him. I hope that my husband finds sexual fulfillment and harmonious peace in our relationship. I can't control him. If he is out there, please don't bring no shit to our front door. Yeah, and that's what will bring you the biggest peace as well, personally. And I think Marie said that earlier, is that you cannot control anyone. You can't make anyone do what they don't want to do. You can't keep anyone, and you should not try to keep anyone beyond the capacity of what makes you happy. So, you know, I don't know a time yet. I'm gonna I guess we'll shoot for the afternoon. As long as if you hit the bell, you'll get the notification. I know you might be doing something, but I'm gonna shoot for the evening, probably around 5 or 6 on Sunday for that. Simply Deep, what's happening? Yeah, I don't think cheating is, if you have a um if you have that woman that, I don't want to keep saying it. If you have the woman that I've described, what's the point? What's the purpose? You know, if there's those other things I previously described in the video, where you're just annoyed you can't find peace, you're not sexually, fulfilled, by all means, if you're going to go that route, then you need to go ahead and separate from this woman. Some women stop taking care of themselves when they, and this, I said that earlier in the video. Some women stop taking care of themselves when they have a man. This can make some men lose interest. I know this because men have told me. And I said this earlier, that some women, and the same thing with men, they might not, they'll stop doing what it took to get the woman, or to get the woman to marry them once they get married. And some women will feel the same way. They don't have to keep themselves up anymore. You should be the coolness of your husband or wife's eyes. It should be, that should be almost mandatory, to be the coolness, of their eyes, instead of letting yourself go, or just saying, or looking at using sex as leverage. And that's what I want to talk about. When you get in sex leverage against someone, or it's, you better be lucky if I do give you some, or you better be lucky if I do have sex with you, or holidays, Valentine's Day, Christmas, birthdays, Easter. Um, that's when obviously there's an issue. Because if you get to the point where you're not having sex for like months at a time, then and this man, I mean, obviously a man is most likely going to be doing his own thing on the side. You know what I mean? And that's just the nature of it. If you're just not having sex with your significant other, then chances are he's, you know, getting it. You know what I mean? So I think man and woman letting yourself go is, it should be mandatory to be the coolness of the other one's eyes, to try to beautify yourself, man and woman, you know, and be that same person in love with, so to speak, is what I think. So, I don't know how long. Let's see. 'Cause I'm trying to keep this chat open. Like I said, I'm stuff on when I'm doing this on live, but I'm doing this through Hangouts right now, so I can't see the time on here, how long this has been going. But um, this that's going. It's going to keep going on. Um, Monogamy is just a concept, or it seems like a suggestion, you know, and people just do what they want to do, you know. What he's, I think Kanye, didn't he say something like, what is it? Something, did he say marriage is plagued by monogamy? Something like that. He said, I can't remember. It was something like that. He said, they said, no, love is plagued by monogamy. That's what he said. Love is plagued by monogamy. I don't know what y'all thoughts are on that. I think I already know what, I've heard a few of y'all mention something similar to that. Love being plagued by monogamy. You know, it is my desire to give of myself in my marriage. Love first, then oh my goodness, Eros love, Cupid. Crystal Jackson. So, follow me on Instagram. Send me a request on Instagram. If you're on there, Facebook. Maybe 50 minutes ago, I got a notification when the broadcast was already going. Damn, I've been on here that long. Goodness. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this out because I don't want to be talking too long. You know, and this has been a cool hangout. I appreciate y'all. You know, commenting, chat, and all that. I know, like I said, I haven't been on here for a while. I appreciate you guys showing the support. Special shout out to Crystal Jackson for the donation and the super chat. You know, I'm just small in the grand scheme of things, but I appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys that always pop up in the chats, you know, commenting, you know, showing just a little YouTuber like myself some support. You know, I appreciate it. Love seeks to give, not to control. Monogamy is unnatural. I'm not on social media. That's illogical for me. Okay, I got you. You on social media now, though. I hear you. You on YouTube. This is social media. We're socializing. I hear what you're saying. No problem. She said that's illogical. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So yo, y'all make sure if y'all haven't, man, got 9 likes. If y'all haven't, I got four, you know, y'all haven't hit the like button, go ahead and hit the like button before y'all exit the premises. I appreciate y'all tuning in once again. Make sure y'all go ahead and hit the subscribe if you haven't done so. Um, trying to get like you, sis. If y'all haven't done, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. You know, that way y'all get all my latest content. And check me out on Amazon. The links is in the description. All my books are there as well. Check me out on social media. um, Media. The links in the description. Instagram and Facebook. All that good stuff. The well of wisdom is there. You know, we got the super chat here. You know, I know I've been gone for a while. I guess almost like a week now. But we try to keep putting out the content. Definitely try this weekend since I've been gone for a while. Um, and y'all just remember, anything lost can be found again except for time wasted. And y'all remember that. So I hope you guys like the video. And I'm not gonna say happy Cinco de Mayo and all that good stuff. But travel more. That's a good idea. I do recommend it. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace be upon you all, and the mercy and blessings of the Almighty. Peace.